on Thursday, the wide receivers ran the 40 at the NFL Combine. Now, every receiver didn't run, but the receivers that did run, I like what I saw. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. For those of you who are new to this channel, love talking Philly sports every single day, hit that subscribe button. Now, if you guys were impressed with the 40 times on Thursday from some of the wide receivers, smash that like button. And oh, by the way, it helps this channel and pushes this content to other Philly fans. With all that being said, let's talk about today's topic. Today, I want to talk about 5 receivers that I thought were good going into the NFL Combine. But after seeing them run the 40, their draft stock had to improve. Some of these guys more than others. Now, remember, this ain't my top 5 guys that I want the Eagles to target. These are guys who stood out to me at the 40. Remember, not everybody ran the 40-yard dash. Tyler Johnson didn't. Van Jefferson didn't. Antonio Gandon Golden didn't. Chase Claypool. These are all guys that I would talk about before the draft as well, but not in this video because they didn't run the 40. Like I said, there's so many receivers that are good in this draft. A very deep wide receiver pool. I want to start by saying I believe the Philadelphia Eagles will draft a receiver with their first round pick in 2020. Now, there's been rumors about moving all the way up to get CeeDee Lamb. There's been rumors about moving up to maybe 15-ish to get Henry Ruggs. And there's been talks about just staying at 21 and getting Justin Jefferson, who impressed big time with his 40 at his size. I believe all these moves are really good. Moving up to get CeeDee Lamb might be a little steep. We might have to give up more to get close to the pick number 10 or 11. Henry Ruggs at 15 maybe-ish, probably more possible with trading away some picks but not giving up too much. And Justin Jefferson would be perfect at staying there. You don't give up no picks and pick him at 21. All 3 of these options I like, and one of these options has to be done for the Philadelphia Eagles. In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 receivers that stood out to me in this 40-yard dash at the Combine and where I think the Eagles could draft them, because I do believe the Eagles might double dip and get 2 receivers, one in the first round, one in the 3rd or 4th round later in the draft, because again, we got 2 third-round picks and 3 4th-round picks. So I'm going to talk about all these guys. Let's start with the first one.
Dodges the rush, going for Jefferson again.
Justin Jefferson out of LSU. He's 6'3", 192 pounds. Let's talk his 2019 stats. 111 receptions, 1,540 yards, 18 touchdowns, and he ran a 4.43 at his 40. Like I said, at his size, 6'2", running a 4.43 impressed me a lot. He can go get the contested catch. He can get down the field. He can do a lot of things. And we can stay at pick 21 and take him. So we don't have to give up anything else because we got a lot of holes on defense we have to fill with other picks. Now, let's talk about another receiver, number 2.
Take it away. Gonna go long sideline. Got it. Touchdown, Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs out of Alabama. He's 6 foot flat, 190 pounds. Let's talk 2019 stats. He had 40 receptions, 746 yards, 7 touchdowns, and his 40 time was a 4.27, the fastest guy in this year's draft. He is a burner, 4.27, and that is what the Eagles lacked all last year. We got the guys to get possession cats, Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, and we're good in the red zone. We lacked quick, big plays, and that's what he will bring. Now, I do not believe we can get him at 21. I would think that if we want Henry Ruggs, Howie Roseman would have to trade up to maybe 15-ish, 13, 14, 15, around that area to get Henry Ruggs. We would have to give up some picks, but it might just be worth it. Now, let's talk about another guy that impressed me out of this NFL Combine.
For UTSA, Brewer wants a bunch, left side, got it!
Denzel Mims out of Baylor. He's 6'3", 215 pounds. Let's talk some stats in 2019. 66 receptions, 1,020 yards, 12 touchdowns, and ran a 4.38. Like I said, the Philadelphia Eagles could double dip in the receiver pool in this draft and go a receiver early and a receiver later in the draft. But I believe Denzel Mims, after running a 4.38, draft stock definitely rose. I believe he could even be a late second round pick. At first, I thought he was going to be in the mids, third rounds, maybe the fourth round, but definitely around the third round. Now I think he could easily be a late second round pick. I don't think he'll fall to the third, but if he did fall to the third, I would love the Eagles to grab him in the third round. That would be a steal. Like I said, we could double dip at receiver because the Eagles need playmakers for Carson Wentz. So if we can get him in the third, I would definitely love Denzel Mims. Let's talk about another guy.
Play clock getting down. Ellinger slant. Duvernay. First down. And
Devon Duvernay out of Texas. He's 5'11", 210 pounds. Let's talk some 2019 stats. He had 106 receptions, 1,386 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And his 40 time was a 4.39. This guy really impressed me. I didn't believe he was going to be able to run a 4.3, but he did, a 4.39. Now, like I said, Denzel Mims probably is going to be a late second round pick, early third round pick, so we might not be able to do first round receiver and third round receiver and get Denzel Mims. I like Denzel Mims, but he just might go before we get there at 3. Now, if we did want to go receiver in the third too to double dip for Carson Wentz, this is a guy I would look at because I think he will be there in the third round when we pick. But like I said, 4.39, another speed guy. If we went Jefferson, you got a guy who can go up and get it. You got a guy who can go down the field. Perfect duo. Now, let's talk about the last guy that impressed me at this combine.
Paula also play here. I played with him.
absolutely. And here is Quez Watkins.
Quez Watkins out of Southern Mississippi. He's 6'2", 190 pounds. Let's talk some 2019 stats. 64 receptions for 1,178 yards and 6 touchdowns. And his 40 time was a 4.35. He came in second to Henry Ruggs for the second fastest guy in this draft. You guys are probably like, who is this guy? Because that's what I did. But after he ran a 4.35, I did my research. I watched some tape and I checked where the people think he's going to be drafted. A lot of people have him in the 4th round. He might have moved up to the 3rd based off this 4.35, coming in the second to Henry Ruggs as the second fastest guy in this draft. But I don't know. But if the Eagles were looking for another receiver and all these other receivers are going between the 2nd and 3rd, well, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round, and we already got Justin Jefferson, and we're looking for a late receiver, he could be on our radar. I did like his 40 time. It impressed me. Now, remember, this video, the 5 guys I talked about were guys that I saw in the 40-yard dash. Now, not everybody ran the 40-yard dash. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. It really helps this channel out. And let me know in the comment section, what did you think of the guys in the 40? What stood out to you? And who do you really want to pick in the 1st round? Are you okay with taking Justin Jefferson at 21? Or do you really want to move up and get Henry Ruggs? And who is your sleeper wide receiver for the Eagles to pick up in the late rounds? Remember, I'm not saying out of these 5 guys, one of them have to be my sleeper, because there's a lot of good wide receivers. I was talking about these 5 because they ran a 40 and they impressed me with their 40 time. With all that being said, until next time, you know what time it is. We out.